Welcome to another edition of Mark's Inspiration. Glad you could join me here today, as always. Today's topic is going to be a continuation of how to treat your man from a woman's point of view. I believe this is from a woman's point of view. I found this on the internet. There's a lot of good information on the internet and a lot of bad information on the internet. It's neither good nor bad. Thinking makes it so. Take what you need and leave the rest. And today we're going to go through this article that someone wrote and see what they have to say about how to treat your man. Okay, this is good for you men because you need to know how a woman should treat you, not how she does treat you or how she disrespects you or how she doesn't appreciate you. You deserve to be respected and appreciated and loved. And in return, you protect, provide, and love your woman. That's the way it works, or at least that's the way it's supposed to work. But it doesn't always work that way. But you need to be aware of how you should be treated if your woman really loves you, cares for you, and appreciates you. So let's go on and read this and see what they have to say about that. The best way to treat a man. No woman will want to stay with a man that isn't good enough for them. Many women want the perfect man, and many men want the perfect woman. Guess what? There isn't any. Either way, no perfect men, no perfect women. They may seem perfect when you first meet, when you're in the love stage, the in love stage, honeymoon stage. Someone who will shower them with gifts, love them, care for them, support them in times of need, and make them laugh when they feel like crying. What many women do not know, however, is that many men want the same things in a woman. In any form of relationship, your goal should be to treat your man as you would want to be treated. That's interesting. It sounds good, but men don't want to be treated like women, and women don't want to be treated like men. It's different. What a woman wants from you is different from what you want from your woman. In any form of relationship, your goal should be to treat your man as you would want to be treated, as it says. However, there are a few specific tricks to the trade. Well, let's see what they are. You need to be selfless. That's a good rule for any relationship. But then on the other hand, you also need to think about yourself. And many times you need to put yourself first and think of yourself first, because if you don't, you can't take care of those around you. It's like the old thing they talk about when you're on the airplane. If the oxygen mask drops, put yours on first so you can help the person next to you. Because if you can't breathe and you pass out, you can't help anybody. It's the same way in life. There's a form of selfishness that is actually selfish. Altruistic selfishness, I would say. To be selfless never means you wouldn't think of yourself. Being truly selfless means you know when it's not a good idea to pick a fight. You know when to be helpful and when to back off. You know the time when your man needs to stay alone, and you know when he needs a lap to rest his head on. Every man will want to have time with his friends without you. True, if he has friends. This is not a reflection of how cool or delightful he thinks you are. And even though this stage may not show itself until the relationship is firmly established, it's important for both women and men to have time without each other. I agree, too much time with each other is kind of like poison. I used to say when I was married, I would probably get along better with my wife if she had an apartment right next to my apartment and we weren't together all the time. I think there's a lot of truth in this. People think that if they're married or in a relationship, they have to be together all the time. This is not true. Look at the men of old. They were out working, exploring, inventing. They did not spend all day, every day with their wife or their children for that matter. They were out doing what men do. taking care of the things men need to take care of. Okay, time without each other. This is where the selflessness comes into play. Let your man go and he'll come back even happier. That you had the maturity and confidence to let him go. Number two, you got to be generous. Nobody likes a partner who consistently puts themselves first. It is essential to remember that you must place your boyfriend before yourself whenever you can in order for him to do the same. One of the most important emotional needs for a man in a relationship with a woman is that his woman put him above all else. Yeah, I know women don't like to hear that, but this is true. This is why when a man gets into a relationship with a woman who has a child from a previous relationship and the child is not his, it usually doesn't work very well because that woman will always put that child ahead of everything. And I'm not saying that's good or bad, right or wrong. That's just the way it is. I've experienced that. I was married to a woman who had a child from another man. Okay, now if you notice that you're putting him before you all the time and he never puts you first, it's time to move on. A one-sided relationship foster is never a good thing. You will be dependent on his approval, which you will never get, and he will be dependent on you mothering him. I don't quite understand her perspective on that, but I won't delve into that. Okay, number three, you need to have self-respect. Well, that's obvious. In all relationships, each person needs to respect themselves. And I'm going to tell you, if you're not getting respect from your woman or from other people for that matter, then you lack self-respect. Because people only reflect back to you, the geese are flying over. People only reflect back to you who you are and what you are. There's a popular saying that respect is reciprocal. If you respect yourself, it will be a lot easier for you to respect your man. That's kind of goes along with what I said, and vice versa. It is true that men like the chase and the mystery of a woman who is independent. However, no man likes a woman who lacks self-respect and does shameless things to command attention. What's that remind me of? Instagram, social media, thoughts, as they're called. I knew nothing about this till my last relationship. And there are so many women, including my last girlfriend, who are posting on Instagram actually saying, hey, I'm available, look at me, getting attention and validation from all these, we'll call them simps or needy men who are supplicating to them, just liking their photos and all this. And these women almost become addicted to this validation. Okay, I did not realize how prevalent it was. So I was in my last relationship, and my woman was always posting these, provocative pictures on Instagram. I didn't think anything of it because I knew nothing about the dynamics of social media and Instagram because I had been out of the dating game for many years. I was married for 12 years and then I had to raise my kids, so I was probably out for 18 years. So I was a little rusty and ignorant of how all this works. But if your woman is posting on social media all the time, provocative pictures, and she's not posting you on there with her, then what she's doing is advertising herself just like on a dating site. In the very least, she's keeping men available just in case you're not treating her the way that she thinks she should be treated. And usually that's quite extravagant because she has options, many options. And she doesn't need you or your validation because she's got all these other men validating her. That's something to think about if your woman is doing that. Now, my ex made excuses like, well, I'm going to make money, I'm doing this or I'm doing that. But the bottom line was she wasn't making any money off of it, but yet it filled her ego. It filled a need for her for validation. It becomes an addiction. So keep that in mind. Okay. Shem, be sure you conduct yourself. Be sure you conduct yourself. They're talking to the woman. appropriately in social situations so that your man will be proud to be with you and know that you respect him. It is of the utmost importance to remember that you are a reflection of him to some extent. People will judge him based on the type of woman you are, whether you like it or not. And that's very true. That's why a lot of men, including myself, like to be seen with a beautiful woman. I like my girl to be sharp, dressed nice, in shape. You don't have to wear a lot of makeup, just a little. Sometimes too much makeup, I don't like. Most of the time, too much I don't like, but just enough to accent the beauty that the woman I'm with has. She should dress nice always and look good and sharp and have nice hair. Just like I always dress nice. Where I live, every time I go out in the evening, almost every time, many times, people say, "Oh, why are you so dressed up?" I just have a sport jacket on, a shirt like this, and jeans, and my good shoes or boots. I'm not dressed up, but in comparison to the people around me here, I'm dressed up. I, I grew up in a different time. When I travel around the world, and I have quite a bit, I can tell who's from the U.S. by the way they dress. They're so casual, it's almost like unkempt. You'll see maybe 6 or 7 girls going through the, what is it called? Security. They got sweats on. Some of them have pajamas, tennis shoes. Their hair's just, you can tell maybe it needs to be combed. It's just very common. Also with the stewardesses here in the U.S. are very different. They wear the uniforms, but they're just not as sharp. You look at the stewardesses from Japan, Ukraine, different countries like that, and they are sharp. Their hair is perfect. They got makeup on. They walk straight. They use heels. They look good. So, but that's just the way we've become here in the U.S. Very casual, too relaxed, I believe. The way you dress, the way you present yourself is a reflection of how much you respect yourself. Think about that. Okay. Try a little tenderness. Number 4. Kindness is something that isn't often meted out these days. Showing kindness means you intuitively know when your man needs your help, or you can make his life a little easier by doing something for him. If you discover one of these moments, don't overanalyze what he'll think if you help him out. Just help him. If you fear that he might think you're controlling, then offer the help first to see if he'll take you up on it. If nothing else, he'll be glad you ask. Here's something to think about, men and women. We as men want something more than beauty, because I don't care how pretty you are, if you can't cook, clean, provide something, emotional support, something, if you're not a sail for us and you're not actually the wind behind us moving toward our dreams, which we don't need you. We don't need a woman. As you men know, we don't need a woman. But if you have a woman, she needs to be a sail and not an anchor. She's got to be more than beautiful or more than pretty or more than attractive for you, because you can get that anywhere. There are millions of beautiful, attractive young girls in the world, or older girls, whatever your preference is. But there has to be something more than that, because you will tire of that very quickly. Some women, it seems to me, think today all they have to do is be pretty. There's so much more than that to being a good partner. And if you are a good partner as a woman to men, he will appreciate you, he will take care of you, he will protect and provide for you, and he will be loyal to you. Now, what loyalty means to you and what it means to men may be 2 different things, but you can count on him to take care of you, provide, and protect for you. And isn't that what women really want? Okay, that's all we have for today. Time's up. I hope this has been of value to you. Share it with a friend. Leave a comment in the comment section. Smash that like button. Subscribe. Hey, thank you to all my new subscribers and my existing subscribers. I appreciate you, and I hope I am providing value for you. Have a great day.